Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a short little reading vlog of reading I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. I'm buddy reading this with my friends Jules and Jessie, and tonight and tomorrow we're actually going to be watching two slasher flicks as well. We're going to be watching The Babysitter and The Babysitter 2 Killer Queen or Queen Killer. I think it's called Killer Queen. But anyway, so I'm really excited about that. I have already started this book and I'm so glad that I'm buddy reading it so that I can talk to people about this book, because I think on my own, I would have probably already DNF'd. Yesterday, I read 13 pages and I was already so confused. So today I went back and restarted it. And I've been talking to Jules about it, and we're just trying to figure out the timeline and what is actually happening, because obviously it's a horror book. And I don't know if she's read any of Stephen Graham Jones's books before. Jules, I know Jessie and I have read The Night of the Mannequins, but I don't think we've read anything. Oh, I know I haven't read anything else. I've DNF'd, but I don't think Jessie has. But yeah, I figured I could document the process for people wondering my thoughts, and my thoughts are kind of all over the place. I'm not really enjoying the story. I'm not really enjoying the writing, but I'm enjoying the reading process because I'm able to discuss it with friends. It's just not my sort of book. It's just not my sort of writing. He kind of goes off on these tangents. He'll start telling you a little bit of the story. Here's a perfect example. I just messaged this to Jules. Okay, this is on page 64. I really did have good intentions, the best of intentions. Instead, I ended up with blood on my hands and splattered across my chest, pooling all around me, rising and rising. I never walked the stage to get my diploma. No, I never got to paint my name on the wall. What I'd done was inexcusable. By the time graduation rolled around, well, I'm getting there. I need to go back to that night now, though, just to get it all down straight. So he'll start to tell you something. He's like, no, wait, I got to back up and tell you this whole long story, of this thing that happened. And you're like, no, I literally just want to know about the bodies and what happened. So he keeps stopping, and it's like a non-linear timeline because of that. And that's one of the things that I don't like. And obviously when you're having conversations with your friends, you have conversations like this that they'll start telling you, and then they need to give you more context to the story. But in the writing, I don't think I like that type of writing. And then also there is slightly breaking the fourth wall, a few times here and there. And I also don't like that. So we'll see what I think. But right now I am on page 66 and I am listening to it on audio and discussing it with Jules. Jessie has not started it yet, but I thought I would just share my thoughts as I read. There may or may not have been a dead body that came back to life, ? Yeah, it's that type of confusing. Okay, one of the things that we're trying to figure out is how many people did he kill? So far, he hasn't killed anybody, actually in the book. We've just heard about him killing people. But on page 71, it says, I've killed 6 people, yes, in the worst ways. 12 or 14 by some counts. So when are we going to get to that? And also, what happened at that party at the end, at the beginning of the book, when Justin Joss came back? Was that real? Was that not real? I need answers. This is my mountain of laundry that I must do. But Charlie has made herself at home and it's so cute. I can't. Okay, quick reading update. I'm on page 118 and I'm a little frustrated because he keeps doing that thing that says, behind me, I can feel them, are those 6 kids I killed in 1989. They don't say anything. They don't need to. There's another reason I prefer that hour or hour and a half out there alone with my thoughts, though. Before the sun comes up, there's no colors. I'll explain, but first, I've got to come back to my mom and me's routine. You're never going to explain it. There's always another story. There's always another story. I want to know what 6 kids he's talking about that he killed. I made it to page 145, and I want to give this book the benefit of the doubt. I have been wondering if the people that he killed were the friends at the party at the very beginning of the book. And now I'm finding no, because he literally just killed 2 people. But why? Why did he kill them? Because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time and he suddenly felt like killing people? I am so confused. I'm about 38% of the way through. I'm about to message Jules because I'm like, I really just don't know what to say. Like, I'm not tracking in the timeline. I'm not understanding why things are happening the way that they are. It's not making sense. And there's not really like chapters, but there is like days and stuff like that. Like this one says Sunday morning coming down. But like, I mean, the first chapter, if you can call it that, was like 60 some pages. Yeah, it was like this much. It was 62 pages Friday was, and then it started Saturday. So the sections are really long, and like, so you're thinking you're following along in that timeline, but it's not making sense. So I'm just really confused. And like, if I don't get answers, it's going to be very frustrating. And I feel like I'm not going to get answers. So, fingers crossed. Hello, my beautiful friends. It's the next day, and I need to finish this book. Number 1, because I have other reading plans for tomorrow. And number 2, because this book absolutely sucks. But last night with the girlies, I watched The Babysitter, which is a cheesy, fun slasher available on Netflix. And it was just, like I said, it was cheesy, it was fun, it was like fresh and new, but it also had like lots of nods to like classic thriller tropes and things in slashers. And tonight, like I said, we're watching the second one. But yeah, Jules is not that far behind me, and she's like updating me with her thoughts and stuff like that. Jessie hasn't even started, and I'm very curious if we're going to just convince her not to read it or what. But I am shocked that people like this book. Like, I have no idea what is going on, but I'm about to power through the end, talk to Jules about it, and share my final thoughts with you guys. Are you ready for that? Because it's happening. Egg and cheese bagel while I read the book. I'm on page 266. Making my way through. I finished it and I hated it. It's getting 1 star. There was really nothing about this story that I liked, like at all. The reason why I kept reading it is because I was having so much fun roasting this book with Jules from Jules Books and Things. Jessie never picked it up. and Jules and I have warned her away from this book. I called it very early on, like yesterday. I was like, I am going to bet that Jessie is going to DNF, because me and Jules both wanted to DNF. And Jessie was even more hesitant than I was to pick it up. I don't know what could have made it better. Maybe if it was a novella. Like, maybe if it was a novella, it would have felt like something actually happened in the book. But there was just nothing of substance here at all. I do not understand the point of this story. If you read, what's that book called? Hold on, I have to look it up. Okay, I looked it up. If you read and enjoyed The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay, you might like this book. It has very similar vibes. There's a friendship between Tolly and Amber. They've known each other for a very long time. And in this story, Tolly is kind of writing a letter to Amber. Not really, but like in a sense. And so it feels very similar in that way, except for that one is more vampiric and this one is more slasher. But yeah, if you liked that book, you need to try this book. But I hated that book and I also hate this book. It's just the writing choices, the language and the words used, the constantly going back to give context to something that has nothing to do with the point of the book. And I just felt like we were never in a good momentum with the story. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the plot or the writing or the conflict or the resolution. So 1 star. Reading experience, 5 stars. Because I was able to roast this book from start to finish with Jules. Tonight, we are watching the second babysitter slasher movie. It's called Killer Queen, and I'm very excited about it. Apparently, it's like 2 years after the events of the first movie. So, yeah, that is my slasher reading vlog. I hope you guys have enjoyed, even though I didn't enjoy this book. So this was my last attempt at reading Stephen Graham Jones. He has a lot of books. I have tried My Heart is a Chainsaw, Don't Fear the Reaper. I have tried The Last Final Girl. I have tried The Only Good Indians. The only one I have read start to finish was one of the novellas, Night of the Mannequins. And I felt there was one more I tried. And then I completed this. So now I've officially completed 2, 1 novella, 1 novel, and I hated both. So this is not the author for me. This was the last attempt. You know, some authors are not for certain readers. And unfortunately, I'm not one of his readers anymore. So let me know if you've read this book or if you like this author's books. Yeah, I'm sorry this video was not more positive, but it kind of was positive in a way. You know, it confirmed that I don't like this author's writing and that now I can look elsewhere, you know? All right, that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.